Hello, everybody. We're back again and we're covering a banger of a movie. My name is Grant. I am the host of this great podcast, but not the only host. I have an unbelievable co-host.
Yes, you
His name's
do.
Ben,
That's right. Yes, yes, it is. Hey, everyone. I'm Ben. As you
who
probably
likes
well
to
know by now.
give little pauses as well. He likes.
Yeah,
He's a
dramatic
man of
effect, mate.
suspense. Yes.
Dramatic effect. Yes, yes.
Yes.
Welcome, everybody, to the Horror Movie Maniacs podcast. Today, we are going to be talking about When Evil Lurks from 2023, and this is
Hmm.
available to watch on Shudder.
Yeah, and I got onto this movie because I was just searching best horror movies of each year.
Yeah.
Um, and I started on, we knew I went for 2024 because we did our recap. So I was like, well, let's do 2023.
Mm.
And this was
Yeah.
number one. So I was like, well, I've got to watch it.
And what a film you have stumbled upon, may I say.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah, bloody brilliant. I can't wait to talk about this one actually. So,
Yeah. You can see
would you
from my,
like?
sorry to interrupt you, Ben.
No,
Just
go for
this background I've got is a bit from the movie. I'm not weird. I don't just enjoy this, but
it.
this is arguably one of the best scenes in the movie.
Yes, and it's not a spoiler per se because it is on all the promotional posters. So
Yeah, doesn't give
there
too
you
much.
go.
She's just having a nice time with an axe. So,
Exactly. She could be just talking to it,
yeah, could be
as
her
you
friend.
do. Could be about to chop up some wood.
Absolutely.
Generally, what you do with an axe. So
Yeah, absolutely.
or maybe not.
Synopsis.
Maybe something a lot more sinister. Who knows?
It's funny.
Yes.
Maybe some would say evil.
Yes. It might be lurking somewhere. You never know.
When it does, yeah.
Yeah. Right. Do you want me to synopsis or you to synopsis?
Why don't you do? I always do synopsis. Why don't you do it this time?
Yeah, okay. Let me just move it into view. Hold on. Okay, you're right. When the residents of a small rural town discover that a demon is about to be born among them, they desperately try to escape, but it may be too late.
See, I had a different synopsis. Shall I read it as well?
Yeah, why not? Mine's just I've just put it into Google and that's what I've got. So
Oh yeah, this is on IMDb. It's short again, but it's a little bit different actually. In a remote village, two brothers find a demon-infected man just about to give birth to evil itself. They decide to get rid of the body, only to end up unintentionally spreading chaos.
yours is much better.
It's good that one, isn't it?
Much better than my bloody one that was on Google. Yeah, what am I doing?
Yeah, that's all right. It's all right.
Yours actually tells you a little bit about the characters and what they're up to.
Yeah, and actually explains more about that whole giving birth thing than the film does itself. Because that was one bit I was just
Yes,
like,
yeah,
eh?
yeah, yeah. We'll come on
Oh,
to
is
that.
that
But
what that is?
first, before we come on to all of that, let's just
Yes,
go over
yes.
the not the
One
facts,
is
the info. So it's directed by a guy called Damien
Dave.
Rugner, not Dave, Damien Rugner, who
Demian? Oh God, I don't know how you say
Demian,
that.
yeah, Demian Rugner, I believe. I probably said that wrong. If he happens to be listening, of course
Well,
he's not listening. I do apologize if he's wrong.
I assume it's Spanish because this whole film's in Spanish, so I assume it's a Spanish director. I could be wrong, but let's go with it.
The film is half Argentinian, half American,
Okay, well, I was completely wrong then, wasn't I? Just
and they are all
assuming
speaking
it was
Spanish.
Spanish.
So no, you're correct.
Okay,
They are all speaking
okay.
Spanish. So influences from everywhere there. The
Oh yeah.
guy Demian Rugner,
Hmm.
he directed a film called Terrified, which I know you've seen, haven't you?
Oh,
Now I still need to watch this because I've heard amazing things from you
fucking love Terrified.
and some other people. So I don't know if that adds a new string to your bow for this one, but
Oh, 100%. I get
but
it. This is why
I
this is so
know
good.
I know you're a big fan of it. So yeah, there you go.
I love Terrified. Such a good film.
Ratings and stuff for this, IMDb give it 6.9 out of 10, which is probably Oscar worthy by their standards.
Yeah, to be
You
fair.
know,
That's
I
a
mean, if
fair
you
score though, isn't it? I'd
for
maybe go a little bit
them,
higher.
yeah, I'd go much higher, but we'll come on to that.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Rotten Tomatoes on the tomato meter, which is what the critics want,
Yeah, yeah.
96%,
That's fair.
96%. Quite
Yeah.
high. You can't get much higher than that.
That's a big one.
The popcorn meter, which is the fans, the general public, is 79%, which is still very good.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I could see this film possibly confusing some people if you're not overly paying attention at times. So,
Mm.
or it just not being everyone's bag. There is some very brutal parts in this.
Yeah, and a couple of
Um,
slow bits and stuff. And
yeah,
but I think
yeah,
on that, I think that's why this works well with a subtitled film. Just speaking on, you have to pay attention. You can't
yeah.
like have your phone on and just be listening in the background because you've got to read it.
No.
unless you
exactly.
speak Spanish, obviously.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. Which I do not
No,
currently.
I do not. I know
So
how to
I'm
say
gonna.
apples, so I picked that out when he was talking about it.
Oh, brilliant! I love that. I'll see. I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
that random kind of stuff that you come out with, man. Superb. Google,
On Duolingo, that's the first word they say is manzanas. It means apples.
amazing. Manzanas.
Yeah.
How'd you like them manzanas? There you
Well,
go.
it's just the ice cream, isn't it? It's like, I'll get you apple ice cream.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right, Google users, 82% of Google users liked this film, apparently.
Okay. Well,
Um,
good guys. The Google
yeah,
users, aren't they?
yeah.
Yes.
And Letterboxd have this at an average of 3.5 out of 5,
It's
which
a bit
I'm
low.
I'm surprised. Yeah, I thought it would be a touch. I thought this might be sort of 3.8, pushing on 4.
Yeah, I would have gone with that more. Yeah.
But yeah, but there you go. That's the average that they have come
Yeah.
up with. So yeah.
Mm.
Budget. I couldn't find what the budget was for this film anywhere.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
I really. Maybe I just had a bad
Really?
research. Really, maybe I just had a bad
Really?
research day. Who knows? But it took 2.1 million at the box office. Which you think 2.1 million? What?
Oh.
That's not much. But then I don't. I'm
It says
presuming it
it
didn't.
says here the budget is estimated to be under 3 million. So
That's what I mean. I couldn't find an
it's
exact
about all I
figure.
can get. How much did you say it took at the box office?
2.1 million,
Yeah.
which is kind of odd. But then I don't know. It definitely wasn't released at the cinema over here.
Yeah, because I've never, until I Googled, as I said, best movies of 2023 horror movies,
Yeah.
I'd never heard of it.
No, I knew of it when it come around, and I just hadn't got around
Mm.
to it. But yeah, I'm presuming it just had probably American release, South American maybe.
It's a solid movie, though. It does
So
surprise me.
yeah, but then I presume that's why Shudder picked it up to give it
Yeah.
the worldwide recognition that it deserves, I suppose.
Yeah.
So
Damn
yeah,
straight.
so good on Shudder. Yeah.
Well done,
Um,
Shudder.
Cast. I wish I could do the cast, but I cannot pronounce any of them. Basically, so
Ezekiel Rodriguez nailed it.
oh, I could have probably done that. Yeah, but yeah, feel
Sylvina
free.
Sabatar.
Is Ezekiel Rodriguez playing Pedro?
Yes.
I was going to do Pedro and Jimmy at least because they're the brothers.
Salomon. Louis
So
Ziembrowski. Louis Ziembrowski, sorry. That's
I,
Ruby's.
I didn't want to embarrass myself any more than I always do. So
Emilio Vodanovic is, yeah? Is that how you say it? Or Jer? The autistic
Jair,
son.
yeah, Jair, something
Jair,
like
that
that, I
was
think.
it.
Yeah.
Jair. Well, there are lots of lovely sounding names.
Yes. Oh, yeah. They'd all sound amazing if I could say them, I'm sure. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Rather than
and
upsetting
I've
an
got to
entire
just,
nation.
yeah, exactly. And I've got to just say quickly, though, everyone in this film is very good at acting.
Yeah, I can't think of it. I mean, the kids in the school at the end, but you can forgive them, I guess.
No, I thought they were great. I thought everyone's
Did
great.
ya?
But yeah, yeah,
They're all
especially
right.
it's going to sound horrible, but especially when the girl's crying
Oh,
at
yeah.
the end. But
Yeah, I
anyway,
mean,
we're jumping way
Jair was
ahead.
pretty good. Right, go on. Go on, all
Yeah,
right.
yeah, everyone's good. Right, before we get into the meat of it, then, shall we roll the trailer?
Let's do it.
Here it is.
Hay un embichado en el pueblo.
Estás asustando a mi familia.
con mis propios ojos, estuve con él. Esto va a ser un infierno.
Tenemos que encontrar a la bestia antes de que nazcan más. Los tiempos de la fe se terminan rápido.
Right, there you go. That's the trailer. Hope you enjoyed that.
Here it is.
Okay, right, let's get going on this absolutely wonderful movie. So,
It was a lovely time.
yes, what a lovely time. Evil's just lurking somewhere, and
Swiss lurking.
this film opens in a kind of confusing manner because, yeah, they're already in a bit of a panic, aren't they? You see the brothers, and they're going off somewhere, aren't they?
Yeah, and they
something.
they find some stuff.
Yeah, they find. And there's going to be massive spoilers, by the way. So,
Yeah.
before we go any further, because I was just about
Always
to say
forget about that,
massive.
don't we?
Well, not a massive spoiler. Yeah, we do. Maybe that's why people don't like us. Who knows?
Yeah, that might be it.
But yeah, massive spoilers. So if you haven't seen this before listening, I would highly recommend you go watch it.
Absolutely.
There we go. Right. So now that's out of the way. Yeah, the brothers Pedro and Jimmy.
Jimmy, yeah. I can't
say
remember if they
Jimmy.
find the dead body or not. Is there a
I've got
dead
a
body at the
slight-
beginning?
Yeah, they do. Hold on. I've got a slight gripe though. So they call him Jimmy, but they also call him Jaime, I believe, which is Spanish for Jamie, isn't it?
How on earth would I know that?
At various points. And I'm like, so is it Jamie? Is it Jimmy? Is it James?
Just call it bro.
I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, Pedro's brother. There you go.
Yeah.
Pedro and his brother, they go up to, it's like a little farmhouse kind of thing because there's something going on.
Neighbouring
And on the
farm.
way, yeah, on the way, they find a dead body, not just a dead body, the body has been mutilated, it's been ripped to shreds, basically. And they're like, what in the world has done this? Blah, blah, blah.
Evil was lurking there, I tell you.
Evil has most definitely been lurking there. Yes.
So
anyway.
what did we find out? Did Ruiz kill him? Like, because did we ever find that out?
We do find out. No, it wasn't Ruiz. It was someone we'll come on to in a moment. So they get to the farmhouse, and the woman there is going a bit, oh, you've got to go and help him. You've got to help him. You've got to help him. No one's helping in Spanish. And they go in, and straight away, we're about 5-10 minutes. I don't even think we're 10 minutes in. So we've had the dead mutilated body, which is quite grim. But then this next scene is probably even worse. They walk into this room, and there's a guy on the bed called Uriel. And
it's her son.
And yeah, that's it. Her son, her eldest son, I believe.
Yeah, and he's like an adult.
Yes, he's bloated, he's pus filled, he's bloodshot, he's veiny, he's pussy. He's like, what the actual fuck has happened
horrendous.
Here?
It gets worse, and we'll get to another bit in a minute. But yeah, it's great. Especially where just like that bit of pus leaks from the side of his mouth when he's just laying there.
Yeah, that's it. So the poor guy, he's kind of got his senses, but he can't communicate really, can he? He can't move.
He can't move. Yeah, he can't do anything.
And it turns out they think he's possessed.
Yes, well, it's the giving birth, isn't it, as they call it?
Yeah, that's it. So they think he's possessed by a demon, and he's about to give birth to a demon / devil. Like,
yeah, what do they call it? Like,
so they call it the rotten. So anyone that's possessed, they call the rotten, which I quite like because he looked like he was rotting.
Oh, he was rotten. Yeah.
Not that I would know. I don't go around looking at rotting bodies.
Yeah, but I'd imagine that's a good example of a rotten body.
I would too. Yeah. So then the general premise is they need to help Uriel, basically.
The guy that was killed was the cleaner, wasn't he?
Yes, he was the cleaner who was supposedly coming to help them. So it's a possession film, basically, but it's done in a really different style. It's not done in.
It's not obvious, is it?
In a way of we must go to the church and the faith and that kind of thing. Yeah, so the cleaners are basically exorcists, aren't they? I would say, that
Hmm.
expel the demons.
There's
Um,
a bit of conspiracy as well, isn't there? Because
there
the mum
is,
and son rang the cleaners a year ago and no one had
yeah,
come.
yeah,
Um,
exactly. And they'd said to the police down the road, but the police just don't give a shit. They don't want to get
no, they
involved,
don't. Yeah,
pretty much.
and
So Pedro and they go and have a go at the police, don't they, and everything.
yeah, but Ruiz suspects they want his land, so that's why
Yes,
it's all they're not bothering. Basically, they want us to
yeah.
rot. They want us to die.
That's it. So Ruiz gets on his high horse, doesn't he? And he's like, "Oh, we've got to get rid of the body. Well,
I
not the
liked
body. We've
Ruiz.
got." Yeah, he was a fun character. Yeah,
Didn't
he
mess
wants
about,
to
did he?
move. No, he wants to move the rotten, doesn't he?
Mm.
The body, the
Which
Uriel
isn't a
guy.
good
So
idea, as we come to learn.
no, and we're not going to go through every story bit by bit, but you
No.
need to know this first part. So
Yeah,
um, there's kind of rules that they have to abide by, which they don't go over straight away. That comes later on, but
it's a
they
really
say
nice
something
touch, though,
about,
isn't it?
yeah, they have to move the body a certain distance out of the vicinity. I can't
Yeah,
remember the exact
300
distance, but
kilometers, I think it was.
right. So then they like, yeah, right, let's do it. We've got to move you. And the mum's like, no, you can't. You got to help him. But they're like, no, we're done. We're going to dump him
It's
somewhere.
happening.
So basically, then the evil is out of our district, and it ain't our problem.
Oh, but
He's
this
kind
bit in
of.
the movie is just, I think, is one of the most disgusting bits of the film.
It's truly grim, isn't it? Yeah. Do you want to take us
It's
through?
Yeah, they're basically trying to think of a way how to get him out, and they're like, let's hog time and drag him out like a pig or whatever Ruiz says, don't they? And then they're
Mm,
like, no, let's just use the sheet. Let's just use the bed sheet he's on. So
yeah,
they struggle because he's a big boy at this point.
he is. He
Um,
is.
but they finally get him just outside the door,
Yeah.
and there's just this next shot. It's just you see underneath the bed sheet, and it's just dripping,
Yeah.
and
It's
it's
truly
like
grim.
piss and pus and just fluids.
Yeah.
And
Wet
then
gooey's. Wet
it's
gooey's everywhere, mate.
do you know what I like wet goes with? This was just
Yeah.
um,
This
but
was
yeah,
grim.
that the bed sheet then rips apart and he just flops onto the floor.
He does. It's absolutely hideous.
Grim.
Yes, very grim. And then they have to literally just sort of try and wrap him back up the best they can
Yeah,
and heave him up into the truck, don't
hoik
they?
him into the truck.
Yeah, and then
But
off they drive.
it's the bits of pus left on the truck as well that's just gross.
Yeah, it is horrible, man. It's horrible. And then off they drive, don't they? And then they
Yes.
nearly run over a kid, don't they, on a bike at some point.
Yeah.
And
You'd be a bit
then
more careful, wouldn't you?
yeah, and then they carry on driving. They get to the destination and they realise, what the fuck? Where's Uriel gone? It's
Yeah,
not in
like
the back.
also like how did that happen? Because the top was down and the back door was still shut.
We
And they're
won't
like, oh,
go there.
he must have fallen out when we swerved. But
Yeah, they didn't
how?
swerve that. Yeah, I don't know.
It doesn't matter. But yeah, they decide, you
But
know
yeah,
what, that's enough.
he fell out. Yeah, they decide that's enough. That's far enough. It isn't
That'd
far
do.
enough, and they know it isn't. But they're like, fuck
Yeah.
it. They go home, and then obviously this is where the evil then comes into play.
Lurks.
It lurks, yes. So that is the general gist. That is the setup of the story. We're not going to
Yeah.
get every story beat because we'll be here for
No.
500 hours.
We
But
will.
there is
But
tons and tons of
yeah.
good stuff in this.
It sort of carries on and gets worse from there.
It does.
We will have to
Yes,
talk about
so-
some of the kills and scenes though, because they are very good.
Yeah, we will. So first off, I enjoyed the setup. I enjoyed the story. I was like, "What is this? This is a completely weird take on some kind of possession." You can,
Yeah.
tell.
They give it away, but they don't give too much away either. So this is why I don't know if I said it to you off before this or during this, but I
Mm,
watched it the first time and I enjoyed it, and then I watched it again today and I fucking loved it
yeah, I'm glad
because
you did.
I started to pick some more things up about it, and like
Yeah, and
that means that means that, and yeah, just put it together
yeah,
more.
and I think that's going to happen on more watches. I can see myself watching this. I won't watch it regularly. Obviously, it's a bit too full on at places for that, but I will pick it out probably a couple of times a year and put it on, and
100%.
just because it is so different to everything else.
Mm.
And the lore and the story they get in there could be so deep. It could be as deep as you want it. There's tons in there that you could easily miss. Like you
gotcha.
say, you've gone back and watched it and you found more stuff. So,
Mm.
third, fourth watch, we could pick up even more.
Mm.
It's like you pick up on the fact that the government know that this all exists. They know about the demonic
Yeah.
possessions that happen. This isn't a one and done kind of thing. It's happened in other places. It's been happening for years. So there's protocols in place, and this is where later on the grandma's sitting in the car. There's been a couple of instances we'll go back to, but I wanted to just bring up the 7 rules because I feel like
Yeah, I
they
love the
need to
rules.
they need to be out there for people to understand some of the bits. So, yeah,
Could you
seven
remember them off the
rules.
top of your head?
No, I wrote them down. Of course, I did.
I can remember some.
They're on my notes.
Let's see how
Do you want
many
to hit
I
me
can
up?
get because I haven't
Yeah,
written
go
them
for it.
down.
Yeah, go on.
Right,
I'll
so,
cross them
so,
off.
so no firearms, which is no gunpowder.
Yeah, I've got that somewhere. Yeah,
Yeah, no electric lights.
yeah,
Don't be afraid to die.
yeah. Nice. Cool. You're doing good. That's a very important one, apparently. Very important.
Yeah, that's the main important one. Don't be afraid to die. The driving the distance one.
It's not. No, it's not on the rules.
You said it was earlier.
It's not one of the seven. You have to
Okay.
take
Yeah,
them
yeah,
from,
yeah.
but it's not.
I think that's all I've got, But I was right with that.
Okay, that's still good though. You got don't stay close to animals,
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. And
which
that
which leads into a scene. Yeah.
it's a
So
very good rule, that one.
yeah, that is indeed. Yeah.
Oh
Don't take anything close to them, so none of their possessions or
yeah.
anything like that. Don't hurt them or their feelings. So I thought this was kind of important because, like, don't physically hurt them, but don't hurt their feelings either. So
Yeah. And don't let them know your fears. Was that the other one?
the other one was never call the evil by its name.
Oh, that was it.
Yeah. So then the kid asked, "Did he name what? Evil has a name?" And the grandma's like, "Yeah." And then she starts going, "Lucifer, Azrael, Beelzebub," and you're like, "Okay, the devil."
Did.
Basically,
Yeah.
they're saying it's the devil.
There's another bit
Um,
you just said, right? I'm
yeah.
jumping around a little bit, but it stuck out to me.
Hmm.
When they're all in the bedroom at the beginning with the rotten Uriel.
Yes. Yeah.
There's a bit where they drop him immediately, don't they? They pick him up off the bed immediately, drop him down.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's like a matchbox or something next to this bloater, and Jimmy looks at it, and it's like a whole scene. It's like he's staring at this, but then they just never
Oh, okay.
mention it again. I was like, what? Yeah, I don't know. I just
I'll
wanted
have
to
to. Yeah. I'll have to go back and have a look at that. Yeah.
didn't understand. I feel like maybe he ended up taking that item, and that's why some of the stuff followed them. I don't know.
Maybe. Maybe.
Maybe.
I'm not sure. Yeah. Like I say, there's so many little caveats and so many little
Mm,
details in this that you could probably pick it apart for 6 hours and still not get the whole
yeah, true.
gist. So but
Anyway,
yeah, so that's the seven rules. So a little bit different to your normal kind of horror movie tropes and rules as well. You know,
yeah. I mean,
the
some of those
animal.
rules I don't really understand, like no electric lights. But
It's because they
why?
said something about when you use the lights, it can move around in the shadows
Oh, the
faster
shadows. Yeah,
or something like that. But then it doesn't make sense because near the end, sorry to jump ahead,
that's
the
all right.
town, they say the town's in darkness to stop it. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
if they turn the lights off, surely they could move in all of the shadows, all of the darkness.
Who
That's
knows?
what I mean. It's quite complicated. You do really have to pay attention, and
Yeah,
clearly
you do. Yeah.
we haven't paid quite enough attention.
I think
So
we just need to watch it a few more times, to be honest.
yeah, yeah, definitely. But yeah, the animals thing that comes into play, doesn't it?
Oh God.
Early on, it goes into what again, yeah,
The goat
spoilers.
was the
So,
first one, wasn't it?
but yeah, the goat. Ruiz notices his goats being a bit weird, doesn't he?
Well, the wife is screaming like, "Louise, it's the goat, it's the
Oh
goat!"
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then there's just this one goat staring at him. So he runs
Mm,
to get his shotgun, pops one off in the air. They all
yeah,
bugger off, except for this bloody goat.
yeah. It's just staring at him. Yeah, and
And
then
then
it,
he's
it walks
yeah,
walks forward towards him, doesn't it? And literally kind of puts his head on the gun
yeah. He's like, "Go on,
that
do
he's
it."
that he's that he's pointing at it. Yeah,
Yeah, because you don't. It wants it to do it. It wants it. He wants
yeah,
Ruiz to shoot
yeah,
so he
yeah.
can release the
That's
evil.
it. Yes, definitely. Yeah, and
And then
and,
what
and he
makes
does.
him? Yeah, but what something happens, doesn't it? Something makes him jump or something.
Yeah, he goes. Ah.
Oh, that was it. Yeah, and Ruiz just,
Yeah, he blows his fucking brains everywhere,
and then
and then
without
and then
without a second, he then out of nowhere has an axe to the face.
yes, he does indeed.
His
The very
darling wife.
axe that you see behind you.
Yeah, and then yeah, that's
Um,
what. Once she's done that, she then yeah, she sort of slaps herself in the face with the axe several times until she falls down.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and it's
Oh, evil
very,
kill that.
very, very traumatic, isn't it, as well? Because the other thing is she's pregnant, isn't she?
Yeah, I know, but
So not only does she kill herself, she kills her unborn child.
it's just the way she does it, and it's like the she does it what like you see her do it like face on like twice. You just see
Yeah,
this little like a relatively small cut, but then it just starts
mm,
opening up and ugh,
yeah,
gruesome.
absolutely grim, absolutely grim. Yes, but the one where she hits Ruiz in the face literally catches him slightly in the eye, doesn't it, as well? He's
Yeah,
like,
it's like
oh.
there.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Plenty of eyeball trauma
what a
lately.
way to go.
Horrible. So yeah, don't get close to animals. There you go.
No. But there's
Didn't stick by the
another
rules.
animal, isn't there?
And then
There's another animal.
there is, but then obviously he used the gunpowder as well, didn't he? So there's two rules right
Yeah.
there out the window. You know?
Yeah, yeah. If he'd used the axe
Um,
on the goat, he would have been all right, apparently.
yeah,
That's what she was
silly
saying, wasn't it?
rules.
Like,
Yeah,
use the
yeah,
axe.
it was. Yes, yes. But that's
But should we?
something I was gonna. Oh no, go on.
No, 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 no. Go on.
That's something I noticed when watching this film. A lot of the times, this is man making stupid decisions because the females they seem to have clarity and logic, and they know what's going on, and the
There's
guys
just a
just
lot of bad decisions, isn't there?
and the guys, yeah, but the guys just don't listen to the women.
No, they don't. They
In
kind of,
this.
yeah.
So I don't know if that was intentional, but I picked up on that thinking, guys, you're just not listening to your women here, you know.
That's a very
um,
good point.
so yeah, even near the end, you know, Myrta or whatever, the older
Hmm.
lady, then Pedro doesn't listen to her, does he? So
Yeah, don't run off. Don't leave me on my own. It's a
yeah,
trap.
exactly,
They're lying.
exactly.
No,
So
fuck
yeah,
you, bitch.
yeah, yeah. But what's the point you were going to bring up? Sorry.
I was just going to say the next encounter with an animal.
Oh my God, this actually shocked me. I was,
It's
yeah,
I still have shivers now. As a father,
yes, yeah, exactly, exactly. And you've got young kids, haven't you, as well?
yeah, but
So
they don't just make something bad happen. They they continue to make this same bad thing happen to this poor child.
yeah, yeah. So Pedro goes to get his kids basically, doesn't he? Because he realizes he's released this evil
Yeah,
thing or possibly evil thing, and he wants to get himself and his kids out of town. You know, basically.
yeah,
Um, and it turns into an absolute shit show. So one of the
yeah,
kids, well, there's an older boy, isn't there?
yeah.
Jair,
He's an autistic lad who's up in his
yeah,
room.
he's
His other
non-verbal,
young
isn't he? Yeah.
son, yeah, his other young son,
Um,
and the girl that isn't his daughter, isn't his actually his child, is his ex-wife's child, like new partner's child.
Yeah, that's it. So Santiago's the little boy, and then Vicky's the girl with his ex-missus. Yeah. So
Mm.
and he just strips off his clothes in his ex-wife's house, then he's saying he needs new clothes and he's got to burn these ones.
Yeah,
Again, and then this is another story caveat because she's like, you haven't been around for 4 years, you know, where the fuck have you been, basically? And you
yeah,
turn
not
up
a
and now
single
you're,
dollar.
yeah, not a single dollar. That's right. And now you turn up and you're taking your clothes off and you're being a weirdo. You know, calm your shit
Yeah,
down.
because there's something
Uh,
there as well. Because I'll jump forward again, but later on
yeah, yeah,
when he gets the phone call from her, not her,
yeah.
um, she goes, "And you're a murderer."
Yeah, that's right. And
That?
also, did you pick up on when she's talking to Jimmy later on? She says to him, "You told me you loved me."
Oh yeah.
So I think they were having an affair.
Oh, you buggers.
That's what I mean. Again, there's so much depth to
There's a
this
lot
film.
going on in there.
There's a lot going on, yeah. But anyway,
Oh
this
dear.
this scene, this scene with the small child, Vicky, absolutely horrifying. One of the worst things I've seen in a long time. The girl is literally the height of the
Yeah.
dog. The dog's sitting down,
He's a
and she's
big dog,
literally
isn't
the
he? Big old
same. He's
dog.
bloody massive. And yeah, she's standing right next to him. The adults are arguing, and suddenly this dog just bites her in the face, literally the
Yeah,
whole of her face.
it's the way he just sit and he just turns to look at her and then just
Yeah,
bang.
yeah,
And you're like, oh my fucking God.
yeah. It actually shocked me. Like I say, I've become pretty desensitized over the years watching all
Yeah,
this
yeah.
crazy
This
shit,
one
but
gets
that
me
got
though.
me. Absolutely got me. And then not only that, after that, it's under you know the dog's under the table because the boy's shouting and he's going Leo, Leo, like shouting at his
Yeah.
stepdad. And
The dog's
Leo's not
name's
paying.
Roger, by the way.
Yeah, it's not the stepdad's not paying any attention, and then the camera pans to under the table, and the dog's fucking ragdolling the little girl everywhere, and you
Yeah,
see her
like it's like
body
a bone or a
fucking
toy or
about.
whatever, and it? He's just like shaking it around.
Yeah, hideous. And then he runs off with the girl
He
in
runs.
his mouth.
Yeah, drags the little girl off with him.
Yeah, that takes a minute to get over, doesn't it? I'm not going to lie.
End scene.
Yes, yeah. Pause. Go and have 5 minutes outside.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they've got to say the
um,
acting of the dad,
yeah.
the biological dad,
Pedro.
Federico Liss.
Oh
What?
yeah, sorry, the girl's dad. Yeah,
Yeah, unbelievable acting. Like
yeah.
just unbelievable.
The
You
horror and
genuinely thought
stuff
that
and
was his
everything.
daughter. Right?
Yeah, you did. Yeah. And again, it
He
turns
just
into
legs
a
it.
whole, yeah, it turns into a whole shit show, doesn't it? They're like, don't kill, I swear, doesn't Pedro say, don't kill the dog?
Yeah, don't shoot
Um,
yet.
yeah, don't shoot it. But of course he does, and then he's taken over by the evil, and then he runs over the mum, doesn't he,
Yeah,
Sabrina?
rams the mum and the daughter, but the daughter's
Yeah,
not the daughter anymore. It's just another demon jumping
yeah, oh yeah,
around, all
yeah,
happy.
yeah. She's all happy, isn't she? And there's not a mark on her, not a
No, she's fine.
injury in sight. She's happy as Larry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it turns into an absolute shit show, and then Pedro gets his boys, gets Jimmy, and off they
Exactly.
drive. Off they drive. They go and pick up Grandma,
Yeah.
and that's where they get told the rules by Grandma on the way to a woman that Jimmy knows.
Yeah, and that didn't he had a thing with her as well, didn't he?
I believe so. Yeah, it's an older woman, isn't she? But yeah,
Yeah.
the gist
But
of
she's a
what
bit
I
of
picked
an
up on.
expert on it, isn't she? She knows it all. She's dealt with this before.
Yes, that's it. So this is where it slows down a little bit, isn't it? You find out a little bit more about Yair, the son with autism.
Hmm.
You end up knowing that he loves apple ice cream, which is quite relevant later
Hmm.
on.
Yeah.
And that
Oh
calms
yeah.
him down when he gets stressed and things. Yeah, apple ice cream
Yeah.
calms him down.
That bit.
Um,
Ugh.
yeah, so he's
I do
non-verbal.
like that bit where it's a really nice touch that I've not seen before. But when the evil
Mm,
tries to possess Jair, it
yes,
gets confused because with an autistic brain,
yeah,
whatever, I might be wording it wrong, but
it's all right.
the demon doesn't know what to do.
Yeah,
So he
can't
just
figure it
gets
out.
locked in. You see like his hands like just spasming
Yeah,
because the demon's gone in to possess him and he doesn't know he can't get out.
he's no, he's confused. It's confused the demon, hasn't it? It's like, what? This isn't the brain
Yeah, the
the
normal
brain I'm used to,
process. Yeah.
basically. Yeah. So yeah, it's trying to figure him out,
It's a good
and it
touch.
traps the demon in there for a little while. It buys him some time,
Yeah.
basically.
I just thought it's a clever
Um,
thing to do.
yeah, I did. I did wonder when they had the son in there with autism. I did wonder where that was going, if it was going to go anywhere, if there was a
Yeah.
relevance. And there is a massive one. So yeah,
It's a cool twist later, isn't it?
yeah, very
Well,
cool.
not a twist reveal, whatever, I don't know. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's cool.
yeah, yeah. So they turn up at this lady's house, don't they, Myrta? Um,
Hmm.
she explains a few little bits and pieces, doesn't she? It's just after this, isn't it, that then the mum Sabrina turns up.
Yeah, she gives a little phone call, says, "I know where you are,"
Yeah, yeah,
says some mean things to him.
yeah,
And then
yeah,
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 she arrives and she's chatting away to the granny, but the
yeah.
granny's had sleeping pills, so she's a bit out of her head.
She's a bit, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Thinks it's Sabrina, then realizes it isn't when Sabrina grabs Santiago and jumps off the balcony.
yeah. Pedro comes in, goes up after her, and then yeah, she
Yeah,
jumps off, and yeah, she's gone. So
yeah,
then off he follows to try and find her.
that's it. Pedro and Myrta go to look for they go to look for
Santi.
Uriel's body, and
Well,
Jimmy goes off.
yeah. They're trying to find Santi, but yeah, to do so they have to end the evil. Yeah,
Yeah. And Jimmy goes off to actually follow Sabrina and Santi, though,
yeah, that
doesn't he,
was
in the
it.
car?
Yeah.
So they go off in two different
Oh yeah,
directions.
because it's his they manipulate your fears, don't they? So they're like, you're scared
Yes.
of losing him, so you can't go near it.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah, the lady that they go to see, Myrta, she explains a few things. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it becomes that she was a cleaner for 12 years, but she was a false one. She was a fraud, wasn't she? She said
Mm. Yeah.
for a long time until it actually happened. Like the evil turned up in their church. The first ever rotten was in their church, her and her husband's. So then they became real cleaners. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then one
Learn on
day
the job.
her husband just didn't come back from one of them.
That's fair, isn't it, I suppose.
Which is then when I presume she got with Jimmy or whatnot. But she's got some really cool equipment and strange devices and gadgets that you don't really have any clue what they are. But she's
No, you
fiddling
don't,
around with
do
all
they?
sorts in the
You know,
car.
she's
She's
got
got this
that
like,
like knife where she needs his nape or whatever she says, isn't
yeah,
she?
yeah, that's it.
Dagger almost.
Yeah, and she explains they have to find Uriel's body to end the evil,
Yes.
basically, and not let him give birth. So yeah,
So off they pop to the school.
off they pop to the school. That's it. Jimmy's gone off to find Sabrina and Santi. What comes first? The Sabrina Santi bit with the or the
Yeah.
yeah,
That's a good
exactly.
bit, that. I think the
Yeah.
school bit comes first.
Yeah, I think so. So
Well,
they
it's
turn
like
up.
sort of him intertwined a bit, I think.
Yeah, it jumps backwards and forwards, doesn't it? So
Yeah.
they go to the school, don't they? And they just see loads of strange kids really sitting
Just sitting there.
in the
Yeah.
classroom. Yeah.
Yeah, just sitting there. They come in and
Um,
ask, sort of say, "Where is it?" And
yeah,
they essentially just keep lying. They're trying to
yeah,
throw them off the scent, say he's not here, he's
yeah,
here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah, they literally tell him he's elsewhere, don't they? So
Yeah, they cotton on and they look
yeah,
under the stage in the main hall.
yeah, because is it the boy that was on the bike earlier that comes out and
Yeah,
lies to him, and he says, "Oh, he's over, he's somewhere else," and then the girl comes running back out crying, saying that he's lying, don't listen to him.
yeah, yeah. And then
And then and
yeah,
then I
so they
think
go in and they find him under the stage. Well, they find a rotten floorboard.
yeah, yeah,
Um, they
that's a
rip it
clue,
up and
isn't it?
there's
Rotten.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
covered
look at
in
that, eh?
loads of bodies covered in lime to hide the smell.
Hide the smell. Yeah, and he finds the original rotter.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
but
it.
he
Uriel's
they
down there, and he
but they need to get it. He needs to get him out because
yeah,
she needs his neck basically,
yeah,
to kill him properly, and he can't do so. So this is where you're mentioning about where the men don't listen to the women because she's like
yeah,
the little girl comes along and says, "Oh, there's an axe in there. It's just in there.
mm,
Go get it." And
yeah,
Murtagh's like, "No, it's a lie.
yeah,
Don't be an idiot."
yeah. Don't
But
leave me
he
alone. And
decides to go anyway,
yeah, he does, doesn't he? That's
and
what I
then she
mean.
doesn't
Again,
have
it's not
it.
listening.
She ends up in a bit of trouble, doesn't she? Dragged
Yeah, she
away, a
does.
few hammer blows to the head.
Yeah, yeah. He goes to get the axe. He gets locked out there, doesn't he? And then he sees her get mashed on the head with a hammer from the
Yeah,
kids.
nice and slowly as well, isn't
I
it?
was going
Bit
to
by
say,
bit.
yeah, very methodical. Pow, and
Very
then another one.
accurate.
Pow, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And then
another grim scene.
yeah, Pedro loses it then, doesn't he?
Yeah, yeah, he
Well,
does. He
actually,
does.
they swap back to
Yeah,
Jimmy.
before he loses it, we pan back to Jimmy, and the scene in the car I really like. It's really creepy, really haunting. He's just driving along in the dark, but
Yeah.
occasionally you see sort of the view from behind him, but you can see his face in the mirror.
Mm.
So that's pretty cool. It's quite artistic.
Yeah,
But
really
yeah,
well done.
you see him coming up to Sabrina, walking along the road, and she's carrying Santi.
Santi. Yeah.
Uh, but then as he gets closer, Jimmy realizes she's eating something, and this is fucking horrible. I'm not gonna lie.
It's
She's
grim, isn't
walking
it?
along carrying her dead son, whose top of his head is missing, and she's eating his brains and stuff out of the head cavity.
Oh, it's so bad, isn't it? You
As
don't
you
see it
do.
that clearly, do you? Because it's quite dark, but it's
No,
still you know
not
what's
too.
happening.
Yeah, not too clearly, but you get the gist. You see it clear enough,
It's
And then
grim.
Jimmy's a bit like, what the actual fuck? And he just slowly rolls the car sort of past there. Then he's like,
Yeah,
don't disturb her, don't disturb her, don't disturb her. Yeah, and then yeah,
floors it.
and then floors it. Yeah, that's it.
Mm.
Runs her over, and then she's upside down on his windscreen, bleeding out of her head,
Yeah,
like scaring him and
head
shit.
like just in front of him. Yeah, and that's such
Yeah,
just where the blood's just oozing out of her hole in her forehead. I was like,
mm. Yeah.
it's so dirty, but I love it.
It's very grim, very wet, gooey, it's very
It's very wet,
drippy,
gooey, that. Yeah,
goopy. Yeah, sorry, but whoever done the makeup for this is fucking amazing.
and also a bit
Um,
twisted. Yeah.
yeah, 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 true. So yeah, and then we go back, we flick back to Pedro, don't we?
Yeah,
And he's
he's
picked
had
up
enough.
part. Yeah, he's picked up part of the device that Myrtle was using to set up, the
Yeah,
weird
yeah.
cleaner equipment and stuff. He gets the bottom part of that and literally just caves Uriel's skull in, who's
Yeah.
just popped his head up out of the floorboards and is just grinning at him. so,
I do feel
so
like
yeah,
Pedro's an absolute moron at this point.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Every part of this film has said, do not kill them that way. You've got to do
yeah.
it properly.
And he's just thought, fuck this, I'm going
Pop.
for whatever I want. Yeah,
Yeah.
caves Uriel's head in, and then next minute, Uriel
Birth.
gives birth to a kid, like
A wet gooey
I don't know
child.
what, an 8, 9 year old kid by the look of it.
Yeah. Who I assume is Satan.
Yes, I do too. And then he just
Which I
walks out.
do, sorry to interrupt you, I do like the way as he walks past Pedro, he sort of brushes his bloody fingers on
Yeah,
his head and then he's
yeah,
stained, like it just doesn't come out.
yeah. That's yeah.
And
He
then,
just
yeah,
touches him on the head, then
him
he
and all the
walks
kids
out.
just bugger off.
That's it. They walk off into the sunset, which is like it's some kind of happy ending or something.
For them, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then Pedro's got the mark on his head. They just all kind of suddenly go home, don't they? Basically,
Yeah. But I do like this bit
Jair.
that's
Oh,
happening
the
sort of in the
grands.
background.
We don't know. We've missed out a bit where
I think it's what I'm about to talk about is where
Jair
Jair
and the
just walks in talking normally, asking for a hot tea from his grandma.
yes,
Yeah, so that bit with Jair where he's no longer non-verbal and just having a normal
yes,
conversation, saying he's cold. Could you make me a nice cup of tea? Puts a little blanket around his shoulders. Gives his
That's
nan a
it.
nice little tap on the shoulder, and she's just like, "Oh no, shit!"
Yeah. She's like, my time is done. Yes, here we go. Fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
fast forward really.
Yeah, that's
Um,
it. We're
where
back at
Pedro returns home. Well,
yeah,
to where they
without his
were.
mum. I can't remember like why didn't he get his mum? He's brought his son home, obviously, but where did
I
he
don't know.
think his
Were
mum
they at
was?
the weren't they at the same house they were staying at? No, I don't know.
No, they were at Murta's house, weren't they?
Oh, I don't know. Um,
Yair and the Nan, I think, weren't they at, were they not at Murta's house? Because he takes them all there, doesn't he, to get away
yeah,
out of
that's what I
town?
thought. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but then
I
when
don't
Pedro goes, he goes home, doesn't he? Proper back to his house with Jimmy.
know.
Not with Jimmy, sorry, but and then Jimmy
Jay.
turns up.
Either way, um,
Either way, yeah, they
his
end
mum's
up
not there.
no, they end up at home,
And
and yeah,
they tuck into some tasty apple ice cream.
they do, and Pedro's not paying 100% attention to Yair,
No,
is he? He's just left him to it.
no.
He is
And it's
Yair choking, doesn't he?
yeah, it starts to have like a really like wet cough.
Yeah, yeah,
See the spoon hanging out of his mouth, so obviously he runs over, looks after him,
that's
and then
it.
yeah, Hayes not stopping coughing, and he starts to pull something out of his throat.
Yep,
Bit of blood comes out.
yeah, keeps
You're like, oh
pulling, keeps
no,
pulling.
is Hayes dead? Like, is he dying? You know, what's wrong?
Yeah,
But no, then they start pulling hair out. And this is so
yep.
dirty, that bit, isn't it?
Yeah, anything with hair pulling out of throats and mouths is
Oh.
just grim. It's, yeah, but yeah,
Yeah.
it
So
just keeps.
anyway, yeah, keeps pulling it like a clown sleeve. Keeps pulling the
Yeah,
hair out. And then he coughs up the chain that the Nan was wearing.
yes, exactly.
And then yeah,
Yeah,
you realise that she's been eaten,
you do indeed. And then that's it, isn't it? Pedro's outside. Jimmy's
screaming,
back. Jimmy's back, and but then he wanders off, and then Pedro's just on his knees screaming his head off.
screaming,
Yeah,
and then it ends.
yeah, and then it ends. That's it.
Yeah.
But if you were Pedro in that situation, you probably would just be on your knees screaming, thinking, "What the fuck? Just what
Yeah,
the fuck?"
because I mean, without it being said, he's seen Jimmy come back without Santi as well. So
Yeah,
he's obviously
yeah,
clocked that his son's dead,
yeah.
or he hasn't got him back at least.
That's it. And who knows? Maybe Jimmy's going to be infected.
Oh yeah, there is that. Hopefully
Don't
they do
you
another
just
one.
you just don't know. One thing I was going to say, which I would actually quite like, is if they did a prequel and maybe they show you Myrta and her husband when they were
Yeah, that'd be
cleaners.
good, wouldn't it? Yeah,
I thought that'd be quite a good spin-off, maybe. Yeah.
that could be quite a
Um,
good idea.
yeah. But yeah, all in all, I think we said we're not going to go through the whole story, and then we
Yeah,
just
I know
smashed
we
through the
did.
whole story. So
It's
I
too
think
good not
because
to. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, it's so interesting and so different that it wouldn't have done it justice if we didn't.
Yeah, and
So
also the kills are pretty pivotal to each part of the storyline. So yeah, it's just the way it
yeah,
goes. It's too good to not go through in it. So
yeah, and it's there's a lot happens, but it's quite a short film. It's about an hour and 40 minutes, hour and
mm,
35, I suppose,
they
before the
pack it in,
credits.
don't they?
They do pack it in. It does dip once they get to Murta's house. It dips for not a few minutes. I don't know, maybe five, ten
Yeah, I know what
minutes,
you
but
mean.
not massively. I think you need that respite though,
Yeah, you
because
need a
so
break.
much so much brutal, intense shit has happened. You're like, oh God, please slow it down, please slow it down. And
Yeah.
yeah, the director has been clever enough to do that, and then
Because
obviously
even when
ratchets it back up.
even when Pedro gets away from his ex-wife being rammed by the truck,
Mm,
he's then on the phone to her, like the evil
yeah,
version of her, and she's just threatening him. And so it doesn't even give you a break then. It's only really when
no,
they get to Murta's house where it just stops for a minute.
yes, it is very full on. So you do need that little bit of
Yeah, my
respite.
God.
Yeah. So, but what a movie!
Unreal.
I was pretty blown away by this. I'm not going to lie. I hadn't seen anything really
No.
else like this.
I think the title
Yeah,
does it justice as well because
yeah.
it's not the same thing, but it reminds me of I think it's a Chinese film called The Sadness.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's completely different, but it's just the idea of suffering and evil. That film captures it
Yeah.
perfectly, and this one absolutely captures it as well.
Yes, you've hit the nail on the head there.
Well, I
100%. The
tried.
sadness. The sadness is a very brutal, horrible film as well.
I mean,
If
it's
you like that
great,
kind of
but
thing.
yeah,
Yeah, it is
it's a
great.
lot.
Maybe we'll do that at one point. It is a very good
I'm
film.
happy to do that. I'm happy to do that.
Yes, yes, we do like our Asian horror and stuff as well, don't we? So,
I do. Yeah,
yeah.
I do like horrors in it, like foreign horrors, because as I
Mm,
say, it makes me pay attention because I have to read
yeah.
the subtitles. So
And also, what I like about foreign language horror is it doesn't stick to conventions usually. They're not
No,
scared
no.
to go with the completely brutal, bleak endings that you get in their films. Whereas not all American films, but a lot of American films
Yeah,
always
the big
go
blockbuster
for,
ones typically do
yeah,
the same
they
thing.
go for the happy ending, don't they? And I get it. They want people to walk out the cinema feeling happy and stuff, whereas other countries just don't give a flying fuck.
I prefer a
So,
sad ending, to be honest, because
um,
it's not the norm.
yeah, I agree. That's it. I agree.
Anyway,
Anyway,
everybody
so
watch
yes,
it now.
do you want to do a rating for this?
Yeah. Is that a 5 or 10?
I mean, yeah, that's a good point. Let's go out of 10. I mean,
Yeah.
we're probably not consistent on this, but
No, who cares?
I think
9 out of 10.
nice. Yeah, originally I went with 8.5, but now we've been talking about it even more and how passionately we've been talking about it. I'm going 9 as well.
Yeah, easy night. I say when I watched it the first time, I would have given it a 7.5. And
Okay.
then when I
Yeah.
watched it again today, at the end of it, I was like, "Holy fuck, that's actually unreal." And yeah, it's bumped it up to a 9.
Nice. I'm glad you came around and yeah, enjoyed it as much as I did in the end. So
Yeah, there's a lot. As I say, there's a lot to it. I want to watch it again. I think
yeah, I do at some point. I'm
to
definitely going to
really
track
get
down
even more from it.
the Blu-ray. I presume it's out on Blu-ray over here. It's been 2 years since it was released. So it
Yeah,
yeah,
should be able to
should
get it, shouldn't we?
yeah, it'd be good if we could get like a nice super duper special edition one, but don't
With an
think I've seen
axe.
anything so far. Yeah, an eyeball hanging off it or something. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
but
love
yeah,
it.
there
What's
you
your
go.
rating? Oh, you're 9. You said 9. Sorry, I just
Yeah, 9
went
as well.
blank
Like I
there.
say,
Yeah,
originally 8.5, but no, I'm going up. I'm putting this at a 9. Um, one of the best
we
horrors
agreed
I've
on
seen in
one.
a long time. So
Yeah, as I say, apart from Nosferatu, this is one of the best ones I've seen in a while.
yeah, 100% agree. There we go. Shall
Brilliant.
we? Shall
Let's let
we?
the people go.
Yeah. Shall we tell them what's coming next, though?
I would if I knew.
You know, it's one
Do
that you
I?
like.
Oh, yeah, I do. I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Do
Yeah,
you
yeah,
want to
yeah.
tell him or should I tell him?
No, I'll tell them because it was my idea.
Yeah, you tell him.
This is one of my all-time favorites. Easy top 5, probably even top 3. We're going for The Ritual.
Yes, we are indeed. It's going to be a fun one. Also, just to add another little bit of an interesting twist here, you listened to the audiobook, didn't you, as well?
I did, yeah.
And
I'm
because
lazy.
of that, no, it's good. It's good because when you said about doing this film, and then you're like, oh, I'm listening to the audiobook, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's a good shout. So I got hold of a secondhand copy of the book, and I've recently read the book. So we're going to do a little bit of a book film comparison, which we haven't done before.
No, we haven't
So
actually.
no, no,
Mainly because I don't want to read, but I've cheated and done the audiobook, so
that's fair. No, it's the same, isn't it? Yeah.
same
So
thing, isn't it? Yeah.
just someone reading it to you instead. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all good.
Exactly.
So, right, there you go. Yes, so we've got the ritual coming up soon. So have
Excited for
a
that
little
one.
listen to that, please. If you've enjoyed this one, please let us know. We always say this, but please let us know whichever way you feel like it. If you haven't already, pop over to our YouTube, give us a subscribe, please. We're trying our best to get going on there, getting a bit of traction. It's not going great, to be fair, but we're
It's
giving
very
it our
early
all.
days though. It's very early days.
It's
Yeah,
early, it's early days.
we put all our pods on there, so it's another way to listen. You can see our faces.
Yeah, sorry
And
for
then
that,
we
but you
also,
can, yeah.
yeah, we also do a bit of like streaming and stuff. We play spooky games and whatnot, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's it. We do indeed. Right. Thank you very much for listening to us once again. We hope you enjoyed the
Thank you.
episode. We'll catch you soon.
Bye bye.